Hi guys, Rob from Rob's Model Cars and welcome back to the channel. We're back again with another model review today, and today's review we've got a Ferrari. Now this is not a new model, but this is from the great old days of Kyosho die-cast Ferraris. So looking at the label on the box, this model is listed as a 2006 release. So it's not a new model by any means, but it's been one of my holy grails to get in the collection for quite a long time. Now, these Kyosho models are known for their paint rash, especially all the red models, but I found this one on eBay from a seller called WRH Model Cars. I think he's based in the Netherlands, and I've bought quite a few models from him at quite discounted prices compared to other listings on eBay, and this surely didn't disappoint when I opened it up and had a look. It's basically got no paint rash on it, so it's as new condition. So what we've got here is the Kyosho Ferrari 328 GTB. I've got a 308 GTB, but I was missing a 328 from the collection. So back in these good old days, they came in these beautiful picture boxes with pictures of the car all the way around, a bit of Kyosho branding, and some information on the back of the box as well. Now if we open it up, the model does come in a foam shell to protect it. Not screwed in, but packaged quite well anyway. If we lift the top off, here we have the Kyosho Ferrari 328 GTB. Now, as I say, these Kyosho models do suffer from paint rash. This one looks pretty good. I found a couple of little spots on there, very, very small. Shows a little bit of sign of rash, but overall the model is rash-free. So we'll get this out on the turntable and we'll have a closer look at this Kyosho Ferrari. Okay, so first impressions of this model is it looks really good. You have to remember that this model came out way back in 2006, so if you compare it to, say, a 2006 Hot Wheels Elite model, the Kyosho was quite a few steps ahead. Now overall it looks really well proportioned for its age. Paint finish, as I say, is pretty good. It has a couple of very tiny signs of paint rash on it, but compared to some other Kyosho models that I've seen that are suffering from really bad rash, this model is actually in really good condition for its age. So, as I say, paint's pretty good on it. It could be better, but you have to remember that this model is 12 years old, or nearly 13 years old now, so I think it's in pretty good shape for a 13-year-old model. So as I say, the overall proportions of the car look very accurate. Obviously all of these models that are made for Ferrari, Lamborghini have to get approval from those car companies before these models go into production. So I'm sure if there was anything that wasn't quite right, Ferrari would have made Kyosho make some changes to the model before it went on sale. So I think they've done a really good job of the proportion, and the detail is really good on this model. So let's start with the front of the model. Of course you do get photo etch mesh in behind these slats. The side intakes here, they're just solid, but you do have photo etch mesh on the underside of this engine cover here, which you can see when there's some light running through it. So really good there. I think they've done a fantastic job on these fog lights, turn signal assemblies in the front. Nice photo etch cavallino on there. Nice detailed slats. This model does have pop-up headlights as well. So there's a little switch on the bottom. You've got to lift them up manually a little bit. There's the little push button switch there. And they've done a really good job on the headlight lamps as well. Great detail in there. So that's the headlights. Nice to have something working on there. Let's move around to the side of the car. Obviously with these older Ferraris you have this black trim line which runs all the way through. Nice job on the mirrors, real 80s style there with the flexible mounts. Some of you my age would remember a lot of cars having these style of mirrors. Windscreen wipers are just plastic, but they're replicated okay. You've got a nice little silver key lock on the door, little silver Pininfarina badges also. The back of the model, the tail lights are really well detailed. Nice photo etch horse and 328 GTB badges. Tail lights are really good, and yeah, there's just a solid black piece here, which should have some open slots in it, but I think they thought that was acceptable to leave it like that, and the exhaust tips are okay as well. Now the plastics are quite clear for the windows considering the age of the model. I'm reasonably happy with that. You do have the old sun visor or wind deflector that these older Ferraris used to have. Do have a photo etch Ferrari script on the engine lid, and you've also got the little radio power antenna here, which is in its down position, but that's a nice little addition there. They could have easily just not included that on the model, but it has got that there. So yeah, overall I think the proportions, all the details, the working headlights is a really nice thing for such an old model like this. They've done a good job on the wheels, not super detailed by today's standards, but I think they've done a pretty good job of the wheels. Tyres are okay as well, and you've just got your plain silver brake rotors in there, and you've just got silver calipers as well. Wheels obviously spin, and it does have working steering as well. As I said, this is the good old days of the die-cast collecting hobby, where you really did get a lot of bang for your buck with a model. Now the front hood does open from the rear, which is very 80s, and you do have your radiator in there with twin cooling fans, and you just have your spare wheel in the front also. So not a huge amount of detail in there. The back of the hood is painted black. If we open the rear engine lid up, it's actually got quite a lot of detail in there on this engine. So you can see it's got all the spark plug wires, the distributor wires. Oh, that doesn't quite stay up all the time. And some photo etch badges, metal caps, things like that in there. And this cargo area at the back is flock lined as well. So in the day of sealed resin models, it's really nice even just to get a humble Ferrari 328 GTB. It's nice to get something with so much detail. So we'll close that down. And now the doors. The doors do open, which is nice. Let's try and get that open with my fingernail. So yeah, opening doors on this model. It's really got quite a detailed interior for its age. Simulated leather look seats with the stitching. Center console with the gated 5-speed shifter. And dash is pretty plain. There's just a sticker on there for the instrumentation. Steering wheel, very basic by today's standards also, just with a horn button, Ferrari horn button. Door trims are okay, a little bit of textured stitching as well on there. You do have cloth seat belts in there, and you do have carpet as well, so you've got flock lining in the footwells to represent carpet. Behind the seats it's just all black. But yeah, really detailed. Remember, this is 2006 model release, so I think overall it's a really good looking model. Detail is quite good, and there's a little bit of detail underneath as well, as you can see. So you can see the shock absorbers in there, suspension arms in the back. You can see the bottom of the engine sump, a few other bits and pieces, exhaust system, suspension arms, sway bar. So yeah, you just don't get this anymore, which is really, really nice to see. Obviously all the new supercars have flat bottoms, so you just don't get the opportunity to see that sort of detail. But when you're looking at these older model Ferraris, or any other brand of these older model cars, all this sort of stuff is visible. So I'm really happy with this in the collection. I don't think I mentioned it, but I paid around 230 Australian dollars for this model, so I think I got a pretty good bargain there. Hopefully it doesn't really develop any paint rash, but if it does, I can always get out the Tamiya polish, 3000 grit sandpaper, and try and give it a bit of a polish up. But I'm pretty happy with how it looks as it is. I won't touch it at this stage. We'll just see how time treats it. Hopefully it won't develop any now, because it's already 12, 13 years old, so I'm sure if it was going to develop a lot of paint rash, it would have done that by now. But anyway, that's my today's review of this Kyosho Ferrari 328 GTB. Overall, I think they're fantastic models. If you can find one that doesn't have a lot of paint rash, or any of the other ones, I know Kyosho made a great Testarossa as well. And yeah, I think they're a great model if you can find one that doesn't have a lot of paint rash on it, or something that only has a little bit of paint rash that you can polish out. They're a great addition to the collection for all the classic Ferrari collectors. And yeah, overall I'm really happy with the model for the money I paid for it. So that's it for today's review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Don't forget to smash that like button. Feel free to share the video also. And don't forget to follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, both under the name Rob's Model Cars. I do sell some models and custom model parts on eBay. My seller name is Rob's Model Cars there also. And yeah, stay tuned for the next review. We've got some awesome models coming over the next couple of weeks that were ordered a year or so ago. And they're going to be quite breathtaking when they arrive. So stay tuned to the channel. More great model reviews on the way, and we're going to keep the build series going this year also. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed today's review of this awesome Kyosho Ferrari 328 GTB. And until next time, thanks for watching Rob's Model Cars.